Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly developer update. So for this week I've not really got tons of programming to show, just because I've mainly been doing, in programming wise, just some work for my games research assistant role, which obviously I don't want to show that project until it's complete. However, I can show some of the art I've done for it, as well as a bit of news for what I'm going to be planning to do in the future, specifically after uni, as well as how uni's going so far. So here, first of all, I'll just go through some of the art I've been doing. So I can't really, I don't really want to explain the context for it, just again because I don't think they want the actual project revealed until it's finished, obviously. But I can just show these sprites of, here I've got a little bear NPC that I think turned out quite well. I think on one hand you could kind of interpret it as a dog maybe, but I think the coloration on the snout with the big nose and especially these lines down here making the neck a lot more pronounced make it look quite good. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this little bear looking NPC. And then other than that, I've just been doing other bits of art, like making some text and controls, which I think this is probably an idea I'll do in my final year project as well, is for the controls, instead of just having a controls menu or something along those lines, just at the start of the game, just have a very simple, the controls are just written on the floor. Works quite well. And other than that, I've been doing little bits such as, you can see here, I've got a little gate made, and if I go on to here, as you've probably seen already in a previous video, this is the tile set I'm using for my final year project, and I've also made a few more art assets that I've also been using the games research assistant work, that some of these could apply to my final year project as well. For example, all these dying trees and shrubs, as well as darker rocks that could be used in some sort of cave, for example. Which that brings me on to my next subject, which is for the final year project. Not for the final year project. I've received my coursework grade for my last project, which was the Soulbound game that I helped create, and it went really well. And the grade reflected that because I managed to get 100%, which I was very happy with. Can't get any better than that. And because I've got that, I now have my first 3 coursework grades out of the 4 for this year. So I've been able to calculate what I need on my final year project to get a first, which helps take a bit of the stress off of it, which is very nice. But for my final year project, pretty much all I need to do is just get a pass on it. Obviously I'm gonna aim to get a lot better than just a bare pass, but no bare pun included there. But all I need is a pass, and I've got a first, purely based off my previous coursework score and so on. But obviously I'm going to try and make my final year project as best as possible, and that's definitely going to be ramping up in terms of development over these coming weeks, because it is due in a little over a month from now. So, as you've already seen in previous dev diaries, right now I've just got a basic overworld, dialogue system, and an encounter system. So I think the main thing to bash out is going to be the battle system, which hopefully I might have something to show you next week in terms of that. But obviously it depends, just because busy with work, as well as I think I might be going home for Easter. But apart from that, so that's what I'm going to be doing up until I finish uni. But now I actually have a fairly concrete plan on what I'm planning to do after uni, which leads me on to the big news of me and a few other people are going to try and take the Soulbound game that we worked on to Transfuser, which is going to be a pretty big thing. So essentially what Transfuser is is it starts in June, so it starts once I've finished uni, and essentially it's a competition where you work on your game. You basically it's a competition where you get a little bit of funding to help you develop your game idea, and then you get to present that game idea to experts by pitching it and trying to get feedback off it. And if everything goes 100% well, you might be able to take it to like an expo or something along those lines, or maybe you can try and pitch for a publisher. Those are obviously aspirational, like if everything goes like perfect. But basically, what Transfuser is it is going to be me along with two of the people that worked on the original Soulbound, along with two of my friends that I've worked on projects with before. So it's going to be, as of now, 5 of us total, all working on this game project, and the competition lasts, I believe, from June till September. June till September. So we're going to have a good few months working on this game project, which is a very exciting prospect. Because if we manage to create this game, which turned out, for 5 weeks, I'm incredibly proud of what we created. But if we have 3 months to work to just build upon and polish and improve on this, I think it's a really cool idea, and we could get a lot done and really make this game shine. Because there's just a lot of little things that obviously I want to improve. A few just off the top of my head are making the game a bit less buggy. So making the game a bit less buggy, probably improving a few art assets, just adding more enemy types, and just polishing as well as just new features. For example, one thing I'd want is probably more advanced level generation. Or some feedback we got in the final week was maybe make it so the ninja can attack above and below him, or I potentially had the idea of either different ninja weapons that are like pickups, for example, or something. So there's a lot of different ways we could do it. Also looking at maybe adding additional ninja movements, so either a double jump, a wall jump, something along those lines, maybe a dash or a slide. But essentially, there's a lot we could take it, and I'm very excited for it. So we're going to be applying for Transfuser, and hopefully, if all goes well, we should get the funding and start working on the game in June after I've finished uni, which will be very exciting. And then the main thing the funding would be used on is just essentially just outsourcing certain things on the game, or other little bits that you don't think about. So for example, the music we used in the final game was simply royalty free. You could use it and it didn't matter, which worked fine for a 5-week project. But for a 3-month project, we'd probably use a bit of that money to get someone to make original music for the game, for example. Or we might use it for outsourcing, maybe a little animated trailer, or there's a lot of things that you don't really think about, marketing, or there's a lot of stuff that could be used for that would really help out. But yeah, that's what I'm hopefully planning to do in the future. So I'll keep you all updated on how that's going. So by next week we will probably we hopefully should have sent our application, because the applications are open till the 19th. So yeah, I think we should probably have our application sent by then. And it's a very exciting prospect, because it is a cool idea because for example, before Soulbound, the longest game project I'd worked on was I think 10 days. So then going from that to Soulbound being a 5-week project was a little daunting, but also quite exciting, and that worked out really well. So then going from a 5 weeks to now 3 months working on it, and then potentially longer in future, is a very exciting prospect. But yeah, I think that sums up everything for this week. So as for next week, I will update you on any changes in Transfuser and applying for it, and I should hopefully have a little bit of work done on my final year project to share. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next week. Alright, peace.